for her today via, I guess, Zoom, however we're going to do that. So I'm super excited.
Good job, Tamika.
Thank you.
Now, let me check that. Great job.
Thank you.
Who's next, guys?
I'll go. I've been working with these buyers for a long time, and we finally found them a place. And it's been a real nail biter, roller coaster ride of a process. It was a fast closing, and one of the sellers didn't really want to sell and was resisting signing documents. And it wound up being a photo finish, but we did close yesterday.
You rock. Great job, Paige.
Congratulations, Paige.
100%.
Thanks.
Who's next, guys?
Good morning, John.
Yeah, good morning. How are we doing today?
Speaking of going over the finish line, yesterday I closed on a transaction that it took a couple of years. It was a divorce situation, and the husband just kept fighting because he really wanted to try and get the house out from under his ex-wife. And we had to go to court a few times, and they got an attorney in fact to sign for the husband. and that was the way we finally made it go through. There were IRS liens, other liens. Oh, geez. And it finally closed yesterday.
Good job, Valerie. You rock. Love that. Okay. Here's how I know we're ready to start. One more. Watch, Victoria. Nobody will talk.
I'll go.
Oh, good. Ryan, it's good to see you. It's been a couple days.
I'm always here. Yes. I just wanted to share something that's really simple, and you've been saying it all along, which is like mindset. As soon as I shifted my mindset from trying to get the listing right away to making care calls and trying to build a relationship, I've been having better conversation. Like there's one person right now. I'm in the finish line with another agent. Like I'm competing against another agent, but that other agent, he's top. Like his brokerage is dedicated to sell only in that area. But like I'm not really worried. It's just that he's the top in that area, and the person really want to go with that person with him. But I was able to all the agents that were trying to get him, I was able to pass all of them and ended up being on the finish line with someone else. So like I keep giving him phone calls, and like I built some kind of relationship with him, and he's always happy to hear me out. I don't know how it's gonna end up, but like as soon as I shifted my mindset from getting the listing right away to building a relationship, I feel like I'm doing a better job, and that listing is gonna be a big listing because it's in Royal Palm. So yeah.
Nice job, Ryan. I'm so proud of you. I really, really am. So proud of you. All right, let's get started. First of all, I want to share my screen with you, and I want to show you a page that I want you to go to during the call or after the call. If you're going to do it after the call, please just save this link. It is kwsurvey.com. I put it in the chat, and what this is this is an opportunity for you to give me feedback on the value that you're getting from this call. When you log in, the event type is international. The name of the course it's going to ask you is the 24 topics of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. It's going to ask you who the instructor is. I'm in the drop down. Just find John Dietz and click on my name and complete the survey. And in advance, I am super grateful for you doing that. All right, we're on day 8 of the 24 topics of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And topic number 8 is economic models. And I'm going to go right to page number 130. Here we are. Okay, here's what Gary has to say. There are 3 critical areas of focus in your economic model. First, let me stop for a moment. If I'm meeting with a real estate agent in a coaching conversation, and the agent, and we're having a conversation on goals. And the agent says, my goal is to net $100,000. The very first model that we're going to go to in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent is the economic model, because this is where we create a plan in order to net $100,000. Simple. Success is simple, right? Bold ball, and not easy. All right, so here's what Gary has to say. There are 3 critical areas of focus in your economic model. First, you need to focus on knowing the key numbers you must hit, understanding how the different aspects of your business interact to produce financial results is essential to making sound decisions. Then you'll have to focus on the number of appointments you must make, the driving numbers in your economic model. So dropping down to the bottom of the page, focus on the numbers you must hit. The greatest thing your economic model will tell you is what numbers you must hit in order to net the income you want. So I'm going to share my screen again. And we're going to go right to figure number 7 on page 131. All right, there it is. In order to net, I'm starting at the bottom, right above the word figure 7. I am right here. In order to net $100,000, if I'm following a 30-30-40 model in the budget model, which is also in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, I know that my expenses should be 30%. Now they could be less. Lead with revenue. That means you're gonna make money before you spend money. And Victoria, remind me to let people in.
Okay.
Please.
Let people in.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, we'll figure this out, guys. Okay. Okay. So you could spend less, and you should to start. Lead with revenue. Don't spend any money until you're making money. My total gross revenue is $130,000. Now, I have the listing side of my business and the buyer side of my business. If I'm running my business 50-50, then 65,000 is coming from the seller side, 65,000 is coming from the buyer side. If my commission is 3%, then I'm going to need approximately $2.2 million in seller volume and approximately $2.2 million in buyer volume. If my average sales price is $300,000, I'm going to close 8 buyers and 8 sellers. If my conversion ratio from a listing taken to a listing sold is 75%, I'm going to take 11 seller listings. If my conversion ratio from an appointment to a listing taken is 50%, I'm going to go on 22 seller appointments. And same thing is true on the buyer side. Now, here's what's interesting. You have 3 different ways you could do this. You could do it, or it could be a combination of all 3. If I'm working my database, I'm going to need 220 people in my database with a 10% conversion ratio on a 36 touch in order to get 22 seller appointments. Now, when I take 11 seller listings, those are going to create the leads that I need in order to get 22 buyer appointments, in order to get 11 buyer agreements signed, in order to close 8 buyers. So focus on adding 220 people to your database. Put them on a 36 touch in order to create emotional proximity. Or I could run a prospecting-based business and focus on for sale by owners and expireds. And if my goal again is 22 appointments, I need 55 face-to-face appointments with a 20% conversion ratio in order to get 11 seller listings. Everybody following me? Somebody give me a thumbs up. Cool. If I'm using a circle prospecting strategy in order to achieve my goals, not pictured on the page here, by the way, I am going to talk to 100 people in order to get, in order to get 22 appointments. Assume that every 100 conversations will turn into an appointment. Stay with me. Every 100 conversations will turn into an appointment. That means I'm going to have 2,200 conversations. Divided by 250 work days is an average of 8.8 conversations every day. That's it. If I'm circle prospecting, I need 8.8. Hey, Ryan, by the way, the reason I'm calling today is we just sold a home in your neighborhood, which is great news. Our challenge now is there are still buyers who are looking for great homes like yours. And I was just curious, who do you know that might be thinking of selling their home? I need to have 8.8 of those conversations every single day. You guys tracking? Cool. Page 175. Now we're going to get to what this looks like when my goal is to earn $1 million. We're going from making $100,000 to $1 million. Big jump, right? Cool. The economic model of the millionaire real estate agent begins with a basic snapshot of the cash flow of the business. And Gary's talking about the 30-30-40 model now, which means if my goal is to net $1 million, it's going to take 2.4 million GCI with 30%, $700,000 going to cost of sales, 30%, $700,000 going to operating expenses in order to net $1 million. Now, on page 177, Gary goes on to say there are two primary sources of income driving your GCI: seller listing sales and buyer sales. Of these two, seller listing income is the most important. Seller listings, here's why. Seller listings provide the greatest opportunity for net income. They are a marketing platform and a key source of leads. So I'm going to go back to screen share. And there it is. If my goal is to net $1 million, starting at the bottom of the page, right above figure number 30. If my goal, bless you, my goal is to net $1 million, I have $700,000 in operating expenses, $700,000 in cost of sales, which means my cost of sales is 30%. In order to net $1 million, I'm going to have to gross $2.4 million. Now, for those of you who are on track or on a mission, or your vision is to build a business that is going to net you $1 million, focusing on cost of sales. What's the key to this model working? I would take yourself off mute and talk to me. Because it works if I'm following the model. And it doesn't work if I'm not doing two very important things. And by the way, in interviewing real estate agents and interviewing mega agents, one of the things that I know is very few mega agents are actually netting 40%. On average, they're netting a lot less. They're netting a lot less. And there's two reasons why. Or they're working more than
your expenses.
Say that again.
Watch your expenses.
The other thing too
Yeah.
is the mix between listing and buying
Talk
sales.
to me about that.
Because of the cost of sales on the listing side is $100,000 for $1.2 million in revenue, and on the buyer side is $600,000. So the buyer side is basically a 50% cost of sales on revenue.
Okay, cool, Michael. So my buyer agents are on a 50-50 split. Now here's the challenge, guys. If I have a team and I have agents that are a part of my team. And I have agents that are working the buyer side of the business on a 50-50 split. And I have listing agents on a 50-50 split. Then it's not possible that my cost of sales is 30%. Here's the other challenge. If the agents on my team work with buyers and work with sellers, and they're all on a 50-50 split, in other words, I don't have players on my team that are playing a position. I just have players on my team. And everybody is on a 50-50 split. This model doesn't work. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You guys understand?
Yes.
So here's the key, because I know immediately some of you are thinking, well, John, how do I get a listing agent to agree to be a part of my team on less than a 50-50 split? Well, change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. When I was a listing specialist many, many years ago, a long time ago, I was on a 25% split. The team got 75%, I got 25%. Now, as a listing specialist, I made over $200,000 a year. Do you think I was okay with that?
Yes.
Yes.
100% I was okay with that. Now, Camille, if I were talking to you, or Michael, if I'm talking to you, if Eddie, if I'm talking to you, and I'm a rainmaker, and you are someone who I'm interested in getting into business with, guys, how many real estate agents, if we were talking to them and we said, okay, Eddie, I've got this amazing opportunity. I want you to be a part of my team. I'm going to hire an ISA who's going to lead generate, who's going to create listing appointments. And all I want you to do is go on those appointments. Learn this listing script that I'm going to teach you. Learn this listing presentation that I'm going to teach you. And your job is to go on listing appointments, convert those appointments into listings, and then bring the file back to the office and turn it over to the admin team, who will take over from there so that you can go on the next appointment. And I'm going to pay you a salary of $100,000 a year to do that job. Are you interested in that job?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, there it is, guys. That's how you get a list. That's how you create value so that somebody would want to be in business with you and play the role of a listing specialist. All right, it is 8:28. Take yourself off mute, talk to me. What did you hear?
I heard that the rainmaker has some big responsibilities though with that type of deal.
They do. Yeah, they've got to create an administrative base first that is there to support the agents, both on the buyer side and the listing side, in order to provide value so that people want to be in business with them and so that they can run the business efficiently and effectively. They also have to have mastered the lead generation model, Michael, in order to create a steady stream of leads so that agents would want to play that role.
You've got to create an environment that is positive for the person coming in, as opposed to anything else that they could do on their own or with somebody else.
Why would people want to be in business with you? That's what you're saying, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Who's next, guys? Talk to me. What'd you hear?
John, on the
Yes.
first example that you told us about, where we want to make 100K and then our expenses are 30K and our total gross is revenue is 130K, but the cost of sales isn't in there somewhere to.
Good job, Camille. Your cost of sales is $23,000 if you're part of the Waxman group, because your company dollar is $20,000 and your franchise fee is $3,000. So
it'd be 153.
well, it could be. And at the same time, are you going to start out in your first 12 months, in your first 24 months with $30,000 in expenses? The answer should be no.
No.
Remember, lead with revenue.
Right.
Make money before you spend money.
Okay.
You should be able to go out today and build a real estate business that generates $133,000 in gross income without spending hardly any money, maybe $5,000, maybe $7,000 on expenses.
Thank you.
Sure. In the first 3 years that we started the Dietz team, we started the Dietz team in 2008. In the first 3 years, our marketing budget was zero. We spent $0 on marketing. Our only expenses were payroll to our assistant and rent. That was it. And minor MLS fees and things like that. Two more.
So I have something.
Yes. Hi, Allie.
Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for this call. It's impressive because you guys have been in Keller Williams a lot longer. I don't think I recall when I first joined Keller Williams in 2009, really understanding the concept or appreciating somebody saying, hey, go and hire people under you. You brought it more clear, I believe, than most people, is the fear or the just challenges of why would they really come work with me? Yesterday, I received a call. One of my transaction coordinators actually said to me, I have a client that it's not really a client. It's someone who actually wants to bring you business. So I have a meeting today at 7. And in my mind yesterday, I was going, how the hell do I pay this guy? You know, I'm already making sure the coordinator that is bringing me this person gets paid. And I already explained to him how, you know, some of the transactions take a lot longer than everybody else will hope for. And they're larger transactions. So his wife is going to get a real estate license and come work with us because he realizes that the transactions we do are a lot larger. But the ones that she can do in the rental side and the smaller sale residential side actually can move rather quickly and keep feeding the family while we are going after these bigger projects. And what you did today just pretty much brought me, well, duh, of course you're going to be able to pay them because it's just a matter of how many transactions are out there for the people that you have in your pipeline you can't do anything with because you're busy trying to work on the ones that make sense right now. Like yesterday, I occupied myself showing luxury buildings, brand new construction, and it took all day. So at the end, I could have used someone to make these phone calls that I had to do earlier this morning because I didn't want to miss your call. And then the emails that I did late last night, because again, I knew that today I will be showing other properties again. And having someone in your team just makes a lot more sense than working solo. And this is new to me. Remember, I think this would be probably my 90-day, maybe 60 days with Keller Williams. And it's amazing how these calls really do press upon us the matter of team building and rent making and responsibility. So thank you so much. That's all I have to say.
Ali, it's my pleasure. Two things that I want to share on that. And Maria, please don't go away because I see your hand up. I'm coming to you next. Ali, the two things that I want to share with you is, again, following the model. One of the things we didn't talk about today is as you are beginning and you're starting to think about building a team in order to build a business, get to an average of 2 sales closed per month every month before you make that first hire. And You can hire somebody on a part-time basis. By the way, the first hire is an administrative assistant. That's important too. And you can hire somebody on a part-time basis until you're ready to hire them on a full-time basis. The second point I want to make is career visioning. Follow the model in order to hire the right person for the right role. And that's a class that's offered through Keller Williams University. If you haven't taken that yet, please sign up for that. Okay, Mariesta.
Hi, good morning, John. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you to everyone. I actually wanted to share something good. Yeah, it has to be with everything you have talked, but I wanted to say that I have right now two clients. One is a buyer for my own listing, and we are kind of preparing an offer. So I'm very excited about that because it's a listing that has been on the market for a while, and it will be it's in the luxury market, will be 1.5 million plus or minus. So if I do both sides, and this one came from a sign call. Then the second one is a buyer and seller. That lead came from all expired, and that all expired was a year and a half back, a year ago. So these two clients, and I'm working on this, and this buyer is buyer and seller. So I'm very grateful because it will be around 2.2 million with these two clients. So, and I just wanted to say all these phone calls, your teaching, your coaching has given me a lot of confidence, and the same thing with James Shaw's calls before and yesterday. So I cannot thank you enough, and everyone that participates and everyone that contributes. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that. This is an amazing group. You're right, absolutely. All right, it's time to get to work, guys. What is work? Work is your first domino. Until that's done, nothing else matters. Everything else is a distraction. Knock over domino number one every single day, and holy cow, watch your business blow up. What is domino number one? It's 20 conversations. It's not 19, it's not 18, it's not 17. If you settle at 17 because 17 is close enough, the 18th contact could have been $1 million listing that you didn't get, and you don't know it because you didn't have the conversation. Remember, these are care calls, not sales calls. We're building relationships. We're also focused on getting one face-to-face appointment every day with someone who is thinking of buying a home or thinking of selling a home. Don't judge away opportunity. And once you go on that appointment, make sure you're entering all of those face-to-face appointments into your pipeline, and you follow up forever in order to create emotional proximity. Remember, reject rejection, and no is not a word that lives in your vocabulary. Okay, everybody, make it a great day.
Thank you, John.
My pleasure.
Jen.